Disan ikamo, kadu anak na kini disan adat ng penuh emori below. Namunuan, bisik mayu orang deto dahil namu baka ni kang ajar. Do you understand what it means? I believe most of you do not, but it's fine if you don't understand. But the sad truth is, when our own kind didn't even understand the meaning itself. Hi, I'm Zach, coming from faraway land in Sarawak, Malaysia. Let me introduce you and bring you into a journey, a place where culture comes to life through its people, where Iban, Bidayo, Melanau, Klabit, and Orang Ulu living harmoniously together. 4 years ago, I came to Kuala Lumpur, the capital city of Malaysia, to further my studies, and have met many other Sarawakians just like me. But as I get to know them better, I realized that they have forgotten how to speak properly, even in their own local dialect. Several of them even forget some aspect of their own family tradition, like playing the supper instrument, or even performing traditional dances, and yet they didn't even feel remorse on abandoning their cultural background. Due to migration, Sarawak with 60.8% is one of the top 3 states that has the highest migration rate in Malaysia, where people move from rurals to cities, leaving all of the traces of their culture behind. As urbanization kicks in, lost culture not just happen in Malaysia. Other countries, like Indonesian handcrafting skills, Kyrgyz carpet trending technique, and the music and dances of the Uganda's people are all endangered cultural heritage. Sarawak is a home for more than 28 different ethnic. It is a place where ancient culture thrive. But the question is, how much time do you have left to record this precious heritage before it's too little to be remembered? So, for that reason, I'm presenting you Kamek, Sarawak Cultural, Community and Research Center. Kamek means me in Sarawakan language. I emphasize myself as a local that represents the identity of Sarawak. Kamek will act as a platform for locals to reconnect with their roots and redefine their own cultural identity. The site, located between Santubong River and Tabu River of Sarawak, a multiracial district full of diverse nature and culture. Kamek consists of 3 main buildings, resembling a traditional longhouse design, while the programming split into 5 categories: commercial, hospitality, institutional, social culture, and integrated space. So, for commercial aspect, it includes Alut Cruise and several markets, providing job opportunities to enhance the local economy. Hospitality categories provide a unique homestay, and several traditional restaurants encourage locals to re-educate their lifestyle. And institutional aspect, on the other hand, provide Baruk House, Sape, Batik, and Pua Kumbu Studio that serve as an educational platform. And social culture emphasize on community engagement, which in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which is sustainable cities and communities. And some space in Kamek are integrated, maximizing space efficiency. Overall, 70% of the program are designed for the locals. Because if you want to tackle culture issue, we should start from within, from Kamek, empowering the local itself to become ambassador of their own culture. And based on a collective studies, there are 5 main dimensions that makes up a culture: transportation, arts, languages, identity, and textile. Hence, by considering these 5, each space in Kamek will act as a solution. So, the first dimension, transportation. Before there's any modern transport, the local rely on boats for long distance travel, fishing and hunting. But when people doesn't use it as often as before, it affects the local source of income. Thereby, allow me to introduce you Alut Cruise, a traditional Sarawak boat cruise system. Alut means boat in Kenyah dialect of Sarawak. It is an artificial river that connects with the existing Tabu River because the Iban tribe believed that the alignment of the longhouse should be parallel to the flow of the nearby river, which believed to bring good blessing for the family. And Alut Cruise aimed to become a central boat interchange which link Kamek to the nearby villages and schools, in which enable tourists to explore not just Kamek itself, but the villages as well. And on the other hand, it allowed these villages to come to Kamek to sell their craft and fresh crops at the floating market. So, the floating market are designed with booth system opening on both sides, allowing accessibility between both land and river. And the 4 crafting timber pillars are made out of Borneo ironwood, known as belian, which suit the Melanau tribe belief on the mark of the new beginning for their soul, in which kickstart the reset button for the local economy in Sarawak. And at the center of each booth, there's a gateway that represents a cave because they believe it channels positive energy from both land and river into the space. And the intersection point between these two would create a highest energy and activities which psychologically enhance the activities within space. Moreover, the wave on the river will be reflected onto the ceiling by using rattan textile, combining nature into the design itself to create a harmonized and balanced relationships into the space. Through this approach, it provides job opportunities and at the same time boosting the local economy. And that's during the day. But at night, various musical and dance performance took place at the Berambe stage, displaying unique arts and tradition, which bring us to the second dimension, arts. For example, Ngau Jau is a famous Sarawak Sapek player who performed Sapek at international festival. Without a successor, this long-standing legacy will be forgotten. Hence, the LAN Berambe Hub. It means come and let's get together in Sarawak. Designed as integrated space where several floating platforms with different levelings but accommodates multiple musical and dance class. And the Iban tribe believe that every craft has divine connection. And that's why the different of leveling are designed for. It's called as Pagau in Iban, which shows respect toward the space function. And LAN Berambe will become a government and school program, making it as an after-school activities for the student. As a Malaysian saying goes, melentur buluh biarlah dari rebungnya, means if you want to nurture someone, let it be from young. Teaching the youngsters to appreciate their own culture at early age. Now moving on. Ruai is a long veranda of a long house, a common social place for the villagers. But nowadays, they are affected by the phone, which affecting their social behavior. According to the UNESCO, there are about 3,000 languages that are endangered in the world. Estimated one language dies out every 14 days. And at least 10 languages in Sarawak already gone extinct. In Kamek, reinforcing language not just through language, but through the social culture itself. Hence, the third dimension, language. Located within the hospitality categories, a unique space called Ayun Tikar, translated as a rattan mat swing in Bidayuh dialect of Sarawak. The typical way of using a mat is by lying them flat on the floor, but by transforming to a hammock-like design, creating more flexible space function. This way, it allowed the youth and the elders to interact with Ruai in a new and exciting way, creating an active environment that encouraged communication within this two age group, reviving the lost social tradition of Ruai as a language reinforcer. Moreover, the uses of Ulin timber as a flooring platform add a natural feel to the space, providing a comfortable and practical space for learning. And they also believe that these timbers symbolize protection for the community. Furthermore, Kamek will also provide a public library where the shelves are rotatable on the floor for space efficiency. This allows people to learn the native way of life through their languages. The next dimension, identity. Unfortunately, there are over 30 tribes in Sarawak already gone extinct, in which didn't have any archive to the related culture. Kamek as a research center will provide a space called the Baruk House. Baruk is a center for various activities for the Bidayuh tribe in Sarawak, but in Kamek, it will act as a cultural archive center, creating a space within a space zone that accommodates various historical, audiovisual, and documents from the Malaysia National Archive. So the data on the culture will not be forgotten forever. Plus, the integration of AR and VR technology, allowing the youngsters to experience the culture through a game-like interface, enhancing the experiences. And report shows that lack of family involvement causes youth to experience a sense of cultural dislocation. So, Kamek will offer a living space for both local and the visitor itself. A unique homestay resembling a traditional longhouse design aimed to restore the local identity. So let's go through a day in the homestay. The user will be staying in a module called Lamin Unit, which means room in Kenyah dialect. So in the morning, we'll be woken up by the beautiful sun. Thereby, the rattan partition are designed to be flexible by using bifold mechanism, allowing not just sunlight and ventilation, but also to control the amount of glare from the sun. And in the evening, both kids and adults alike will spend their time at the Ruai, which are even more engaging due to the presence of the Ayuntika itself. And when the moon takes over, it becomes a place for storytelling, where the exchange of knowledge from the past and the present occurs. The vertical lighting underneath the homestay designed to represent the female native tattoo, where they believe that this tattoo will light up the space at night, enhancing the storytelling activities. Traditional longhouses are built on steel because they believe it separates the human realm above from the spirit realm below. So this lighting will act as a tattoo that light up the space at night. Now, Nippon goes beyond just color. It resembles the culture identity. Black color is a sign of respect for the Dayak community, while red represents the warrior spirits and yellow represents the spirituality. And these three flag light color are shown onto the column because column is an important part of a structure. Same goes to color, which is important part of a culture. And the aim of this homestay is to teach the local about their forgotten practices and tradition. So encourage them to do the same when they go back home to their children, because identity begins from the family. Now moving on. Textile took 49% of the overall craft industry in Malaysia. However, batik contributes 81%, which brings us to the last dimension, textile. Most of Asian countries have their own batik tradition, including unique batik from Sarawak. But what most of you didn't know about is Puah Kumbu.
Mungkin ke nyumpit anak lang deh, nyumpit darah tinjat paganjir buat mangkoi tinanya, tinggal kainnya.
Mendabangi is one of the last Puah Kumbu weaver in Sarawak. It is a unique textile created by the Iban tribe, a tradition that combines art and nature, known as cloth used during birth, death, and marriage. However, nowadays, only small population are able to continue the tradition due to change of fashion. And that being said, Kamek will provide a Puah Kumbu studio to carry on this beautiful legacy. So there are several processes of making puah. Nabu, ngirit, ngarap, ngebat, ngerembai, and nenun. So the first process is by spraying the coloring agent, where mengkudu roots are smashed into bits and pieces using pestle and mortar. Traditionally, people who use this tool will lead to waste of resources due to the spill materials during the smashing process. But by using lesung, which means the pestle, will provide a bigger mortar within an enclosed structure to prevent the spill material to be stepped on, allowing it to be reused again. The threads are made by extracting fiber from the local taya plant, and before dyeing the thread with color, it must go through a process called nga ritual, gracing the thread with spiritual powers, and by adding retractable mechanism into the structure, making the process more safe and efficient for the locals. After that, then the thread can be soaked into the dye for up to 3 days, and after fully absorb the color, it will be dried under the sun for 3 to 4 hours. And after fully dried, it will be woven into a yarn before it goes through the weaving process inside the studio. Puah Kumbu considered as a sacred art. The workflow of puah cannot be disturbed, or else the whole villages will suffer the consequences. Therefore, within the studio, the weaver and the visitors will be separated by a 4-meter spacing. Due to several cases of teenagers got eaten by crocodile because they accidentally knocked down the weaving kit, disturbing the workflow. So there's going to be 2 types of studio, the commercial puah and the sacred puah. And another belief that once weavers start on a specific motif, they couldn't leave until the pattern is complete. Hence, the studio will light up using solar energy at night, which is self-sufficient. And study shows that sitting on the floor will help you to live longer and improve your health. So the flooring comes in different leveling, providing a flexible space for people to rest on while making and learning commercial puah. And for sacred puah, the backstrap loom and the seat itself are designed to be adjustable. Why? Because the weaver must maintain comfort to have a peace of mind and heart while weaving due to the restriction of the taboos. And the floor above will be retail store and fashion showroom for puah, a space that allows local designers to showcase and sell their puah arts. It also accommodates the Sangai event, an event to tell the story behind each puah textile. Finally, Kamek really teach myself as youngsters to the significance of preserving our ancestral legacy. The experience designing Kamek while receiving traditional knowledge from my grandparents, my family, and the elders helped me to create Kamek. It's not just a typical center, but a space where spirituality and tradition infused in every aspect of design, offering more than just learning, providing an experiential journey into the lifestyle itself through the integration of commercial, hospitality, institutional, and social culture. Each various programming is a step towards pushing the reset button of this ancient culture. So before I end, allow me to teach you guys a simple but beautiful sentence in Sarawakian language. So please repeat after me. Kamek sayang kita. Kamek sayang kita. It's a common way to say I love you in Sarawak. So that being said, I love you guys too. Thank you.